Yeah, so do we start now?
Wait 1 second.
Yeah, the recording has started.
Yeah, so thanks Anupamji. Wait, Sohini, the camera from the right can move towards you if you want. If you want the background to be a little more close, or you want this big background, it's up to you. Because we see you. Yeah, there's too much space on your right hand.
Yeah.
Whether it's right or left, I don't know. But
okay.
No. Are you better? Better now?
No. On the right, I think we can towards the bed. There is the bed is coming, or some. Better.
Yeah. So Sunita, can we start?
Yeah, we didn't get our exact 10 minutes. No, 5 of us are there.
Yeah, it's already now 3 minutes.
Little kind to us. Yeah. Okay, great. We are ready to give
so
me a minute.
Good evening.
Yeah, start. You're going to do the introductions. Yeah, start.
Yeah. So good evening to everyone. Good evening to the viewers as well. Thanks for attending this session on the relevance of the healing power of music. We have a very accomplished panel amongst us today evening. Introducing the panelists, Prince Manvendra Gohil, a renowned harmonium player. He's also an author and an LGBTQA activist. Dr. Vasumati Badrinathan, she's a performing Carnatic vocalist and academician. Professor Mrs. Anupam Mahajan, she's a professional artist for sitar performance in AR and Doordarshan. We also have Sohini Roy Chaudhary, who is a founder and director of Sohini Moksha, World Dance and Communications, both in India, as well as a founder and president in Madrid of the organization Sohini Moksha. Welcome you all to this session. We have Sunita Buyan, who is the she's the founder of Music for Wellbeing and Leadership Change. She is going to be moderating today's session. Over to you, Sunita, for the session. I'll join you back when we have 5 minutes before the close.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Guru Raj, for the warm introductions. And thank you to Women's Economic Forum for putting together yet another panel and always putting arts on the agenda of all your conferences. It's a pleasure. It's been a very long association of almost 7 to 8 years with the Women's Economic Forum. And I'm very happy to yet again moderate another panel of extremely accomplished, eminent, and thinking artists of today's times. So thank you for the opportunity and the invitation. Well, the mission that artists like us have is that music, apart from being a great entertaining platform, has got few profound benefits on the mind and body. And everyone knows that it has been scientifically proven that music does heal. The sound has an impact on the brain, and hence the body gets healed faster with music and sound, especially when one is recuperating from illnesses, mental or physical. And hence, in today's world, a very relevant role arts and music and sound can play for people's well-being, mental health, peace, and of course, there's always the lessons of creativity that we learn from music. So that's the essence of today's panel, the healing power of music. Another very, very profound lesson that we also imbibe from music, and sometimes the artists forget to imbibe that, is that the art of coming together, the art of collaboration, working with each other. Also, music teaches us that also, because we have to be balancing so many different people, their skills, their sounds, their instruments, their thoughts, audiences, organizers. Hence, definitely music is a great medium to learn teamwork. So Guru Raj has introduced this wonderful panel. I'd like to ask the first question. And again, ladies and gentlemen, this will not be an only talking panel, okay? We as musicians cannot come to a panel and only talk, because our weapon of choice is either our saas, awaz, or our dance movements, right? So we are very clear whenever Harbeen or the team wants us to do something in music, we say our voice is our music. So we will talk as well as play a little bit. Yes, it is not the ideal platform to play. We didn't do any sound checks, but we will play from the heart. So hence, just to make you aware that do not leave us in the middle of a conversation, because the highlight and the end will be definitely musical performance live from the heart for this session on Music for Healing. So well, with those announcements out of the way, let me first go to a very, very accomplished vocal singer whom I respect. And she was one of those few artists whom I met almost 20 years back and had the opportunity to collaborate with when I had just come to Bombay, Vasumati Badrinathan, Dr. Vasumati Badrinathan. And as Guru Raj has said that, she's a Carnatic as well as vocalist, as well as Hindustani trained vocalist, of course. And her genres have cut across boundaries. She has traveled across the world and done various kinds of musical genres through her vocals. So Vasumati, what is music? How does music heal you and those around you? That's my first question, would be to everyone.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sunita, for that very warm and generous introduction. And like you said, music brings us all together. So today is another platform, and I'm delighted to be here with fellow musicians, music lovers, and I thank Women Economic Forum for inviting me. So to answer to your question, how does music heal me as a musician, those around me? I think the word heal itself, let me just tell you what that means to me. So heal means, recuperating. It means restoring. It means getting back into form. So there is some inner activity that's going on within the human body and mind at many levels. So music at many levels does this to you, it heals. So you don't really have to, exit from an illness or grappling with a very difficult situation. You just could be in a state of disequilibrium with yourself, or you're stressed, or the day has been long and worrisome, or whatever. And music can bring that added benefit to your life. So I would say that this being a very inner feeling, as human beings are all sentient beings, there's a sense of perception towards music. So music is always present in everyone's lives and all the cultures. And some cultures are more musically inclined, like India and Africa, for example. There's music all the time, from the moment you're born till the moment you exit this world. So each one looks at music differently, and music does different things to different people. I will just quote one example, which I often refer to because it's something which is very close to my heart. And I will tell you how music can connect with your inner soul. So when I was a child and a number of years, my growing years, we used to live in a house that was quite close to the railway tracks. And the trains were running all day long and all night long with just a very brief respite. And whoever would come to our house would find the sound extremely disturbing, and they would say, how do you live with the trains moving like this night and day? But to me, it had ceased to trouble me because, one, I was conditioned to that sound. And secondly, I was kind of mesmerized and intrigued by the different kinds of sounds that different trains made at different speeds on different tracks. So the local trains had a specific sound. The goods trains had specific sounds. Trains that transported people from one city to another had different sounds. And I would try to equate that with the pancham or the shadjam, as a child. And I enjoyed it because every train was running at a different shruti. So I was just trying to do that all the time. And I could recognize which train was running on the tracks. And that gave me immense happiness somewhere inside. And it made me connect with my environment and my milieu through music. Therefore, music can connect you to different ways. This is a very sort of an unconventional example of music. Now, music has got rasa, that is emotion, that is color, and each one responds differently to it. So, you say that music makes me feel calm, or this music makes me feel relaxed. So that could be different for different people, or it could bring forth some good memories into your mind and act as a mnemonic device. So I have my favorite ragas. I think of Atana, it brings them back a lot of nostalgia. I feel happy about it. Therefore, I think it's a very, very personal connect with music and what it does to you. And it's got this capacity to restore things within your body. And that, I think, is the power of healing of music. So each person, the one who listens to your music and the one who produces the music, respond to it in different ways, all the time very positive.
Thank you, Vasumati. As our viewers should know that Dr. Vasumati Vaidyanathan is not just known as a vocalist, but she travels and does these beautiful master classes and workshops, and the way she explained to us around music and its impact. So thank you so much, and we'll come back to you. Do have your favorite ragas on your radar, because it's between 7 to 8 p.m. India time, and so most of our favorite ragas can be played, at this time. So do keep your raga ready for performance round.
Sure.
Thank you so much, Vasumati. We now move on to our next panelist, Anupam Mahajanji, who is, we've got different people, different profiles. And Anupam ji has been a faculty of music in the university and has been training in the music department for many years. So again, something very special that very few musicians that we interact with on stage would have had that kind of a profile of being a faculty and teaching a structured course of music. And we'll come to that later. But for now, Anupam ji, what does music mean for you, and how does it heal you and those around you? It's the same question that I want to ask everyone, and your individual perspective.
First of all, I would like to convey my gratitude and thanks to World Economic Forum, and also to you, Sunita ji, for giving me this bombarding question. Because you see, from my side, I always feel wellness has to be at 3 stages: physical, mental, and spiritual. When we talk about mental and spiritual, music is directly related to that. And when we talk about physical, it is a aided therapy at that time. So music, it is not only that it is a music of choice also is there, but music, the basis for music is a sound. And one small thing I will tell you, like we all are talking to each other, yet something goes on in our mind. And when you are disturbed, I always tell my students and also my personal students, because I belong to a gharana, Jaipur Senia Gharana. I'm a torchbearer of that gharana and only lady artist now performing on 17 footage, very old tradition. So whenever they are disturbed, and young people have a lot of anxiety, a lot of issues with them, I always tell them, do one therapy of music, and that's a very simple therapy. Om. You may not say Om. The minute you start taking out this sound, the negative process of your mind stops. So basically, our aim from music is to bring it from negative to positive. So music always goes into salvation. The ultimate of music is salvation. We all are a part of the Supreme, and we all have to go and meet the Supreme. When we talk about the philosophy, that means that we have to live with that philosophy. We don't only talk about the philosophy, and gurus and teachers and performers can be the best example for this generation, especially the youth, because youth is going to be the future now of this country, of the world. So we have to tell them, and you will be surprised to know that in music department has started music courses in many of the colleges, because the aggression of youth has to be tackled. They have got a lot of energy, and that energy has to be tackled, and that is tackled once they play any game, and secondly, they utilize their techniques of creativity into any art form. So music as such is very convincing, because we don't have any words. We have tone which is all over the similar tones. So music becomes a universal language. And the kind of a patterns that we use, if we use sharp tones, we can give encouragement to the soldiers. And if it is a very, very aggressive mind, we play, flat melodies so that, it calms down, it sobers you. There are ragas which are having flat notes, yet Tivra Madhyam or Shuddh Madhyam, which gives you majestic flavors. So these kind of things together, when they put it, your blood pressure is calmed down. My CD, Music for Therapy, is doing very well. So your blood pressure calms down, you get good sleep patterns, aggression stops, and first and foremost, that you start living the quality of life you're supposed to live when you come to this world. So that is what music does with you. A mother sings lullaby right in the beginning. All the tables are taught to you, all the poems are taught to you with music. Because when rhythm and sound comes there, your mind takes it automatically. And this is the best medicine for the brain, because brain starts analyzing. A lot of research is going on that. Brain starts analyzing the tones and starts making the meaningful phrase of those tones and meaningful paragraphs, and then they understand the whole totality of the performance into one single thing. And you are a performer, you know how it goes. So this is what I feel, that music has got a lot of things to give, provided the taker is ready to take it, because it is very subjective, and your interest and you're willing to take at that time is very important.
Thank you so much, ma'am. To get to it's a privilege for us to get a professor of your stature, professor of music, who broke down the entire impact of sound. And I like what you said at the end, that no, because it's an alternative therapy. Music, ladies and gentlemen, is not an invasive therapy. It's an alternative therapy. Hence, our minds and bodies have to be cognizant and be ready for accepting it. And hence, there's a lot of intent that's there with the target to be able to get the benefits of music therapy, because it travels through the atmosphere, the sound travels through the sound waves, reaches our brains, and that's when our endorphins get produced in the body. So thank you, ma'am, so much for your structured response and giving us this wonderful, short, quick masterclass on music therapy. Thank you so much. Now we go to another very, very special musician and artist with us who is here, Prince Manvendra, and who, Manavendra Singh Govil, who is not just a musician, a harmonium player, but also is an ambassador and activist for LGBTQ rights. So again, a very strong message of inclusion that he's trying to propagate through his harmonium, through his music. So Manavendra ji, what does music mean for you, and how does it heal you and those around you?
Thanks, Sunita, for my introduction, and thanks to WEF also to giving me this opportunity. So I will talk about my own experience, my own story, how music has helped me. And as you rightly said, I'm an activist fighting for the LGBT rights and for equality and inclusion. So I since I came out of my closet, and I have been also the first person in the world to openly come out from a royal family. So you can imagine there was so much of struggles and challenges which I had to face in my life, stigma and discrimination, getting thrown out, and death threats, and all the possible drama you can think of, And what came to my rescue, it was music. Because another person of my type, a person of would be there in my place, would have gone crazy, would have gone mad, would have committed suicide long time back, But it was music which brought stability to me, to stabilize my mind. And once the mind, as we all know, gets stabilized, the body also gets stabilized. So just playing music, just listening to music, just being part of this whole music world. And I was very fortunate to have get a world-renowned harmonium player, Pandit Purushottam Balavalkar, who was himself a strong supporter of the LGBT movement as well. So, having people like him and having many others, there's a long list I can give of musicians who have supported me in my cause, has helped me heal, myself. So I decided that if it can heal me, if it can help me, then definitely I can use the same music to help other people from the community, from the LGBT community, who are being ostracized, who are being marginalized, whose human rights are being violated, and they've been put to so much of torture and torment. And music can definitely help them. So I have started music therapy for the community center, which I'm building a shelter home where I'm housing the community from the lesbian, trans, gay community members who have been thrown out from homes by their parents, and I'm helping them out through music, just playing them simple ragas, whatever I have learned. And as we heard from Anupam ji, there are different ragas for different purposes. So, like, you know, how we can make them relaxed, or how we can calm them down. How so many of them come to me with suicidal tendencies. So how I can help them with music to calm themselves, to stabilize themselves, because I have experienced it myself. So I have you know, a better way of you know, healing other people as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And then, you know, Manav Ranjit, you must see Sohini and my recitals for Kashish Film Festival. We are very closely associated with it. And we both did 2 different renditions on inclusion through music. So we'll share that with you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the kind of social change that you're trying to do with your music, with your instrument. And it is not easy. It's been, like Tagore says, ekla cholo re jodi to dak shune kyo nai ashe. I mean, you've really carved the path. So thank you for being a messenger of change. And so thanks for that. We'll move back again to a quick round of questions again before the performance round. So now I move to Sohini Roy Chaudhary, who's streaming this from Scotland in a place called Dundee. Sohini has recently traveled for a project to Edinburgh, and she made India proud by performing for the COP26 climate change concert. Of course, she went there to receive a very big award called She Inspired as the Global Cultural Ambassador for this year. Of course, she's a trained Bharatanatyam dancer, but what draws Sohini close to us is that, the kind of themes and messages around girl child protection, around LGBTQ rights. She has in her team quite a few, she's got all the different kinds of genders dancing in her team across the world. And of course, she works a lot on climate change. So Sohini, I know it's very cold. I hope you've got central heating because you're wearing a Bharatanatyam dress and it's extremely cold there in Dundee. Thanks for joining us. So what does music mean to you? How does it heal you, your dance? Because your dance and your movement and your craft, how does it heal you and those around you?
Namaskar, all of you. Thank you, WEF, for bringing us all together on this very noble idea and concept. And Sunita, as usual, I love talking to you because you're so relevant and so intelligent and such a fabulous musician. I hearing you play, your Bharat Darshan and your certain other pieces. I hear them all the time, when I'm stressed or when I'm upset, because I feel the empathy that you kind of bring out, that aura that is created, definitely lets out serotonin in our brains and we feel better. And I have been brought up with raga music, my father being Pandit Subrata Roy Chaudhary, sitar maestro. So Bhairavi, Malkos, Yaman, Darbari, all these ragas have been scientifically proven to impact various parts of your body, various parts of your mind. So much so that in Germany, I was working with 2 universities and hospitals where they have introduced these ragas actually officially played on for people with heart surgeries because it actually impacts them and helps them heal more. And in my case, yes, the world itself is a tough place. As we know, life is not fair. And life is tough, but we sustain and we stay happy. And our inner happiness is very important, cannot be dependent on circumstances, a better job, a better relationship, better mental health. So that inner happiness happens only due to music and dance, where you create your own existentialist bubble. And you don't need a second person or a second situation, but you can be happy within yourself. This is what I have always felt, and this is what I've propagated. And I feel my students also all over the world, I tell them that when you're really upset and life seems like without too much hope, just put on the tilana I've taught you and just dance mindlessly. After those 10 minutes, you feel like you're a different person and you're in a better space. And that guiding light comes out somewhere, and then the way works out. So I think the spiritual experience of empathy that music and dance immerses us in is definitely the only way. So that's what I feel.
Great, thank you. Thank you for also understanding, getting in the raga music element into your dance, and being able to synergize both the sound and your movements together. And of course, having been brought up in your father's household, being a maestro, I'm sure that's had an impact. So thank you, Sohini. Thanks. So ladies and gentlemen, we had our first round of actually going deep down into how music heals us. Because like they say in yoga, it's first ourselves that we've got to conquer before we want to conquer the world. So, it was very heartening to hear about how each one of us talked about how music heals, us and those around us. So now we are already at 7:30. Hence, our next round will be lesser time than what we planned, because we'll have to keep our times nice and clear for the performance round. So questions remain the same, my friends. Don't worry about that. But we will ensure that we answer them very crisply so that we have all the time and we can take our breaths and do our little musical pieces. So Vasumati, coming to you, you have worked, in Europe a lot. You've done work with, vocal styles in France and Germany, and you've also taught. So I have a very straight question for you. Which is the style of music apart from Indian classical that you like the most, or you've collaborated most with, and what is it about it that you like, and why is it so attractive to you?
Well, Sunita, from the different genres of music that I have collaborated with and musicians, I think I would foremost put jazz as one form of music that really touches my inner core. And the second one is Azerbaijani Mugham, to which I had a fantastic exposure due to my many visits to this lovely country and its musical heritage. And this collaborative performance with one of their leading musicians called Sakina Ismailova, a Mugham singer. So Azerbaijani classical music, the Mugham, resonates so much with Carnatic music. And together we worked on this collaborative concert called Muragam, that is Raga and Mugham together. And that form of music, which I discovered and I was completely in awe of, and I still am, I think that really, really appeals to me because it's got similar depth like Indian classical music, like Carnatic music. And although they do not have a raga system, they have a spectrum from which they explore, and a lot of improvisation, just like we have in Carnatic music. So it's Indian classical music is improvisation based, so is Mugham and the exploration of the voice. And so Muragam was really a one of its kind experience for me, and I really enjoyed working with this musician. And like you said in the earlier part, collaboration is a different ball game altogether. It is, yes. It's coming together with another person or different people, their forms of music. It's also a lot of humility because you have to place yourself second and music first, and try to balance things out and achieve a common ground. And I really enjoyed working on this creative experience.
Thank you. So a big shout out to WEF. We've got a singer with us who's collaborated with a jazz singer. So you can imagine the way she would throw her voice on a live stage. So shout out to WEF to do a proper live. In fact, I was talking to Lakshmi. She said, and after this, we would like to do something really live. I said, why not Women's Day or any day, where we can all come together. So thanks for that. Thanks for that, Vasumati. Thanks.
Thank you.
Anupamji, I have a very straight question for you. What do you think are the advantages, the main top 2 advantages of being part of a structured music course in a university, and the advantages of being part of only Guru Shishya Parampara?
See, when we talk about structured music course, we are learning theory as well as practical. And we are going into interdisciplinary research. You'll be surprised to know that music is associated with 27 disciplines. And that is my forte of interdisciplinary research. But all the students who want to excel in music, they again join with the Gharana system. They always take one guru and join it over there. Because Gharana system is not only performance, and analyzing of performance becomes a theoretical part. But one thing I have found a difference between Indian students and foreign students. Foreign students, especially those who are also learning Western music, teaching them becomes very easy. Because when I was in China, I just told them major fifth, major fourth. They all tuned to Yaman. And I did the notation, and within no time, within 5 minutes, we put up a show on the stage. But here in India, you know, it is an improvisation. And when you do the improvisation, we always give them small guidance and then we tell them to do it. And it takes ages to do it. And also, very many students who come to us are coming not by interest, but by, you know, they are not getting admission anywhere else, or sometimes they come in. So that intense observation, intense concentration, intense learning part is sometimes, you know, lacking. Which otherwise Gharana, if you are committed to Gharana, you are doing that. That's the main difference.
So thank you so much. So you like you rightly said that once you do, you know, you need a mixture of both. So I really like what you talked about. They go through the course with you, and then to go to that next level of the immersion, they would probably go and do a Guru Shishya Parampara and learn the Gharana, learn from a guru, from a Gharana. Like my mother, who's a classical violinist, she's 80 years old, Pandit V.G. Jog student. She did everything the other way. She learned for years and years under Guruji, and then later Guruji said, "Aapko to sikhana hai wapas jaake." So she did her masters in music when I was doing my masters in music. So together we, she did all the studies for me, of course. I never liked to study such a lot of serious stuff. She used to write the notes for me, and then of course, thanks to her, I did my masters in music. So thanks for that response and that very quick and brief and so well articulated. So over to our prince that we have from the royal family, Manvirendra ji. And आपने बताया कि हारमोनियम नहीं है, वो तो सुन के मैं घबरा गई कि एक रॉयल फैमिली बोले कि आज हारमोनियम नहीं है, ऐसे नहीं होगा, आपको हारमोनियम लाना ही पड़ेगा. So good, you got the harmonium with you and it's next to you. So apart from the message of inclusion, what else are you planning in the near future to, with your craft or with the community with whom you're working actively? Any special programs, anything special that you want to communicate or do, or a project that you have in mind?
Yeah, definitely. See, my Guruji always used to say that वही व्यक्ति संगीत का प्रचार कर सकता है जिसकी रोजी रोटी उस पे नहीं निर्भर है. The person who doesn't have to depend on the bread and butter, that person can spread the real awareness. So he encouraged me to become a stage artist. I mean, I had no plans to perform on stage because I was doing it for as I mentioned, my own personal healing and for my own mental stability. So I had no intentions of being a stage artist. But he said, no, I would like you to, he encouraged me to perform on the stage and to give performances so that I could, inspire other people, encourage people to come forth and to learn and to acknowledge our Indian classical music, which unfortunately it is getting depleted due to other Western music influences and all. So I have now I've started giving programs, and not just programs. I am annually holding festivals, music festivals, where I am trying to give platforms to the upcoming talented artists, whether they are in vocalist or the instrumentalist or even dance performers. But yes, purely on Indian classical base. So that these people, because I understand how difficult it is to first of all learn music, first of all to get a guru, and then when you don't get a platform, then you land up with a lot of frustrations, and you're not able to showcase your talent. So through these festivals, I'm trying to give platform and to get musicians in the audience. So I have this on these concerts, these music festivals I've been organizing in the palace in Rajpipla, where I've invited different gharanas, and my Guruji has been very helpful to me in the past. Now, of course, he's no more, but still, because of him, I have contacts with a lot of musicians. So trying to get different gharanas, trying to educate people on music, and thereby, hand in hand work with music therapy. So I've been, in fact, just invited. I've been invited to play harmonium in New York in June the next year. Hopefully, if there's no issues with the COVID, then I would be flying to New York and performing harmonium there.
Great. And Ekip, just fantastic to promote music and to give artists the opportunity. Artists ke liye, just remember ki young and old, all artists need the stage. So hope we also get to perform in a festival sometime soon, right? I mean, jokes. I mean, I'm being serious, isn't it? It'll be wonderful. But more than to perform, we would love to see the way you're promoting the younger musicians through your craft and the Palace Festival. So that's really creditable. Thank you, Manvinder-ji. Over to Sohini. Sohini, you are the last speaker in the panel. So obviously I'm being a little unfair to you and telling you that show us like three mudras that heal the body, because I've seen your session on well-being and mudras that you did some time back. And so can you show us 2 to 3 mudras which directly impact our body and cure certain illnesses?
Yes, some easy ones with both hands. You need to keep your shoulders upright, hands away from the body, and the right hand pressed over the left hand. This is the Shiva Mudra. It's meant to energize you. If you're feeling tired, if you're feeling, if you feel fatigued, this is a good way of coming back and pressing the fingers against each other. Again, if we put the left hand over the right hand, it is meant to calm you down. Like this is the Durga Mudra, and as Parvati had calmed down Shiva in his Tandav with the Raga Malkos, this is supposed to help you fight anxiety attacks, panic attacks, and calm you down, and helps cure hypertension. And the third one, I would press the ring finger to the thumb and press it hard and keep holding it like that. This really helps resolve digestion issues, which also happens due to tension. The ring finger and the thumb pressed together helps digestion issues. It also helps asthma attacks and bronchial issues and helps you breathe better. So these 3 mudras, if you practice like 20 times every day, within 7 days or 8 days, you feel the positive effect in your body.
And how many times, how long during the day do we need to do this? How long do we need to do this?
You could just, just a count of 10 or some each mudra and do it 20 repetitions. And you could be sitting on a sofa or you're watching TV. For elderly people, for example, they can't sit in Padmasana. So you could sit on a sofa or elevated, chair, or you're waiting for a doctor's appointment or waiting at the airport. In transit, this is a good way of bringing in wellness towards the body and mind with your mudras.
Thank you. So quickly, Vasumati, you'll be ready now. Do you need a tantra or anything? And before as she gets ready into the mood, so Sohini, what do you do to keep yourself fit? Meaning exercise and all of that.
I do a lot of yoga. I do yoga, about 1 hour of yoga, because I'm also a yoga teacher internationally. So I do yoga. And I also run for about 5 to 7 kilometers a day, 5 days a week, and drink a lot of water. So
wow,
those are the ways.
So great. So I don't have much to share in this because I cheat a lot with myself, though I say I'm a well-being practitioner when it comes to running and all that. I sometimes cheat and I tell everyone in the family that, but my music is my yoga. Why are you after my fitness? Well, we come to the last round, and because I've got this message that the meeting may just end on its own if you don't end on time. So I'm so nervous about it just going blank. So I really want everyone's performance to come out. So Vasumati, please, it's over to you. We would like to hear you sing something for us. Please tell us what you're going to sing.
Yeah, so, well, I've decided to sing an excerpt of this Carnatic composition by the greatest of great composers, Tyagaraja. And in this song, like in many, he's composed a bunch of kritis or compositions, as we call them, where he is speaking to the mind. So it's actually a dialogue with the mind. In other words, a dialogue within himself. And he is appealing to the mind to think and concentrate on music, you know, because that, he says, gives you eternal bliss. It gives you Brahmanandam. And that sound of music, the Saptaswaras, he talks about it in this beautiful song. And he says, tells the mind that music is the one that's going to show you the way to bliss, to peace, to happiness. And it's that sound which becomes the musical sound, or the nada, which emanates from the depths of you and comes out as music, as nada. So this one is in the Carnatic raga called Kalyana Vasantam, and the song is called Nada Loludai. And I shall sing a brief excerpt from it. And I really like the song because, and this raga especially, it has a very sort of a peaceful impact on you. And then it's directly an ode, a tribute to music.
Sorry.
Perhaps the others could mute themselves, then, you know. Thank you. Nadaloludai, 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 Brahmanandamandai, Nada Loludai, Brahmanandamandai, Manasanada 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 Loludai. Swarupada Swado Pala Prada Sapta Swara Raga Nishaya Sagida Nada Lolu De Brahmanandamanda Yamanazanada Lolu De Nada Loludai, Nada lo, lu, de. You're on mute, Sunita. You're muted.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Anupamji, I could see that you were ready with the sitar. So a piece from you, please, because as the clock is moving, I really don't want anyone to miss on the performances. So can you please start?
Yeah, I'm just going to play a very short piece in Bhairavi. Bhairavi is one rag which can be played all the time, and it has the power to give all kind of emotions. But today the piece that I have chosen is more towards Sufism, towards spiritual meditation. And the theme of that is, since I belong to Punjab, they say over there, Tumba vajda yamnal mere. Tumba is a drone, and the drone of your body is your rhythm of breathing. So everybody has to go to the Supreme one day, God. But till the time you are here, do your all your deeds rightfully. So this is the theme of that poetry that I'm going to do it on this.
Wow. So beautiful. So
Thank
beautiful.
you. Thank you.
Really, really it really got us into that whole meditative and spiritual element. Thank you. I have lots of words to
Thank
talk
you.
about the pieces, but I'm worried that everyone has to play and हमको भी
Yes.
जाना है. So I'm getting
इसलिए बहुत
worried.
छोटा सा करके किया.
बहुत ही
So-
सुंदर था, बहुत ही सुंदर था. And Manvendra ji, bravo that you got your harmonium next to you. So a piece from you, please.
Yeah, I'm going to be performing Rag Sohini, which is one of my favorite rags.
Sohini, we want to. वाह. वाह, क्या बात है. Your hands, I think the camera आपको next time एक आपके right hand में भी चाहिए to see your finger movements. Well, Sohini, fantastic, Manvendra. Sohini, you said that you wanted a live track because your music track wasn't working. Shall we do? Would you like to do your Durga Stuti, which is, I've seen
with your singing and violin, please. That would be a treat.
Sare ma pa dha mare sa dha sa. Jaya jaya devi jagata janani. Papa vinashini dukha harani. আজ এই ধরা মহাপাপে ভরা তুমি দয়া করো হে মহামায়া জয় জয় দেবী জগত জননী পাপ বিনাশিনী দুঃখ হরণী आज ये धारा महापाप से भरा तुम दया करो हे महामाया भूति महादेवे त्रिशूल दान करे नाना अस्त्र दान करे देवगण कवच दान करे विश्वकर्मा देवे বস্ত্র অলঙ্কারে সাজালে কুবেরে হে মহামায়া শত প্রণাম শত প্রণাম শত প্রণাম. And the violin is tuned to D sharp, so it moves on to a song to welcome good times and spring through the year. I want you to dance along with this also. Oh, spring, when are you going to come? When are you going to come and be my lover? The way I've been waiting for you all through the year. Holuka bahore, akhi oi moina, oi bholuka bahore, oi akhi. The world is one. So from Assamese Bihu to the reels of Scotland, where Sohini is, I just remember the reel in the same raga composition. Like love is universal, humanity is universal, music is universal too. So.
Thank you. No, I hate to do this. Wonderful. Sunita, I hate to do this. Sunita and Sohini, I think I had to cut in short because of time.
We had just finished.
It's such
Yeah,
a
that's
crime
okay.
for me to interrupt musicians and artists performing. We are allowing them only 3 minutes to perform each. It's just a crime. This session can go on forever. And I should really thank all of you for making it possible for us to have this session. Sunita, thank you for the wonderful moderation of the session. I want to, on behalf of the Women's Economic Forum, they have an award category called the Leader of Excellence, and they give it to, this award is for the panelists on this session today. I want to also let you know that this is a virtual award which is given, it's sent to you by mail. The soft copy of the award will be sent to you by mail. It's for Exceptional Leader of Excellence for Sunita Boyan for doing such a wonderful job of the moderation. Prince Manvendra Goyali for his harmonium and sharing his thoughts. Dr. Vasumati Badrinathan for her Carnatic vocal that we heard today. And Professor Mrs. Anupam Mahajan for the sitar performance that she gave us. And Sohini, once again, thank you so much for joining in from Scotland as well. And thank you so much for this wonderful session. I think people don't want this to end, but unfortunately we have the next session starting. So thank you so much. And on behalf of the Women's Economic Forum, I want to thank you all once again.
Thank you. Thank you. Wonderful to meet everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Sunita. And all
Thank
the
you so much.
co-panelists.
Sleep well with the music.